seafood. It's one of the towering pillars of our Australian culinary reputation.
A reputation that's recognised throughout the world for its sensational taste and sizzling innovations.
But there's more to great seafood than just what you see on your plate.
And you're about to dive deep into the full story of how it gets there.
I'm Andrew Eddinghausen. I've spent the past 2 decades fishing for fun on screen, yours and mine.
Now I'm getting serious, teaming up with some of Australia's toughest professional fishing crews.
And introducing them to some of the country's most creative chefs.
Together we'll sail Australian waters from north to south
to show you the whole amazing journey from ocean depths to the heights of culinary delight in each delicious adventure of seafood escape.
Welcome to the show. Well, this week's Seafood Escape finds me in the coastal town of Goolwa in South Australia. I'm heading out on the water with head chef of the Africola restaurant, Imogen Chalosky, and the team at Goolwa Pipis to find out how this beautiful seafood makes it to the restaurants and tables across Australia. Once a historic but sleepy port at the mouth of the Murray, Goolwa is now the centre of a sea change lifestyle, famous for its food produce. To bring the 2 stories of local food production and South Australian restaurants together, we're setting out before sunrise with the Pipi gathering team from the Goolwa Pipis Company. While this early morning barge trip is normal working practice for most of the crew, it's a bit of a culture shock for the restaurant side of the story, for reasons you'll find out later. Let's just say Chef Imogen would rather be in bed than on a beach right now. We've come across from Goolwa to the Young Husband Peninsula, a sandspit that's over 100 kilometres long, separating 2 large lakes at the mouth of the Murray River from the waters of the Southern Ocean. And it's a hard, bumpy drive to work for the Pipi team, bouncing over the sand dunes until they finally reach the long, straight ocean beach. People have been feasting on pipis from these sands for thousands of years, and 100 years ago, cockling the Coorong, as they called it, became a popular pastime for holiday makers from Adelaide. Commercial gathering started only in the 1970s and soon grew to such a scale that the Pipi population along this 100-plus kilometre stretch of sand came close to being overfished. Within about 30 years, commercial gathering peaked at a level that everyone involved could see was unsustainable. So in 2007, the state authorities introduced a total allowable commercial catch management plan for the fishery, which this year limits the annual haul to a proven sustainable level of 650 tonnes. Harvesting only by hand is one of many ways the Goolwa Pipis Company maintains the highest level of sustainability. It's hard work that Imogen and I are getting a close-up look at.
We're here on the beach. Have you ever seen any of this sort of stuff before?
I haven't, actually, no.
Do you use Pipis at Africola?
We do use Pipis, yeah. We have it all year round on our menu.
So you've had a big night. Last night was the Adelaide Advertiser Restaurant
yeah.
Well, and you guys won Restaurant of the Year.
Yeah, we did. It's
How
pretty
amazing.
Yeah.
That's
It's pretty
fantastic.
good. We're pretty happy with it. I'm feeling it today, but actually a pretty good setting to...
So now you know how much dedication to her duties Imogen, or Mo to her friends, has shown just by being here this morning. And we're going to put her to double work as the morning moves on. For now, she and I can relax a little as we study the hand-gathering techniques that will produce about 600 kilos of pipis from this day's work. The only mechanical device on the beach is a machine to sort the pipis. The resulting quick return of undersized pipis to the surf is another important step in the sustainability of this fishery, as Goolwa Pipis Company Operations Manager Alistair Scott Young explains.
These rollers are on a bit of a taper.
Yep.
Small gap here, big gap here. The small ones fall through the small gap. The bigger ones travel further down until they reach the gap and they drop in. On the beach, we just separate them into what we keep and what we put back into water for next year.
Okay, awesome. So the little ones go back?
Yep. And they're all at different stages of development.
Okay.
So something that might be at this time, that size might be a big stomper in February.
And do you know how long these things live?
Well, we think 3 to 5 years.
Okay. How do they reproduce?
So they spawn, spat goes out into the current.
Yep.
Eggs are fertilised, it travels around as larvae, and it recruits itself onto the beach in small proportions.
Yep.
And and then it grows itself out.
It's not that you can move further out and catch more. You've actually got to fish along this one strip.
So there'll be a front edge to this patch and a back edge to this
I can
patch.
see the boys right now, like the water's just pushed in.
The key, as much as possible,
They go hard here, look at that.
we grade them off, put the undersides back in the water.
Yep.
The product that we keep goes into a bag, gets a unique tag. All that's logged and registered as official paperwork for fisheries.
Okay.
So when we leave this beach, we have paperwork which tells fisheries exactly what we've got, caught, on what licence. Okay, so yeah, everything that leaves this beach is identified as being the property of this particular crew on these particular licences.
Right, okay.
Roughly speaking, we fish about 60 k's from the Murray Mouth south.
Yep.
Okay, and that is approved for human consumption.
Right, okay. You tend to have almost like fishing spots. This is a hot spot here. Come back here time and time again. The pippies will sort of congregate here.
Yeah, or probably counter to that, we fish this to a point, we just keep an eye on how it's looking, and we probably rest it for a couple of months.
Yep.
And then we'll move on to another spot. Because we are reasonably close to home here, it's really important to keep our travel time down. So if we can not travel far, we can get it nice and early like this, we can be back in the shed, product in the tank, on an aircraft tomorrow, nice and good condition.
The story of how these pippies get from here to seafood markets around Australia and overseas is coming up. And a delicious pippy lunch right here on the beach. On the 100-kilometre long ocean beach of Young Husband Peninsula near Goolwa in South Australia, I'm learning more about sustainable pippy harvesting from Crew Chief Steve Jones.
We've got two buckets. You've got an undersized bucket, which we feed straight back into the ocean.
Okay.
And out of this chute, you get your keeper-sized cockles.
And so is there actually a measurement for that, or you guys just do that?
35 millimetres
So
and above.
35 mil and above you can take?
Yes. So then you've got something to catch next to you too.
Yeah, that's it. Well, that's a great sustainability
right.
aspect of the business.
Yep.
As far as these, what happens from this process? You've got the big bag there.
Yeah, so we tip them into a bag. That's a 20-litre bucket.
Yep.
And then because we work on a quota system, we got barcoded tickets and we just zip
right.
right straight on.
You guys have it down pat.
Good crew, yeah.
Great crew and sustainable seafood business, which is fabulous.
Yeah.
Well, now we're going to step over to Mo, who's going to whip up something amazing here on the beach, which is pretty cool. I think we're going to cook on the back of the actual Forby over there. So that's a nice setting, and what a day to do it. Well, Mo, we've driven up the beach. We're up here in the middle of nowhere, it looks like. The boys have just been out there catching those pippies. Now, we're up next after you cook some pippies here on the back of this 4x ute. It's pretty cool.
It's the best way to
It's
do
a
it,
good
I think.
location.
Yeah.
Now, what do you got planned?
I'm just going to cook some pippies with some caponata, which is basically sweet peppers marinated with some fresh tomatoes, a few capers in there, paprika, garlic, all those yummy
It
things.
looks like a fantastic mix.
Yeah, I'm just going to add them straight in.
These ones look good from the Goolwa Pipi company. These are the
Yeah.
guys out here. They're packaging them up and
Yeah, these are great. These
they look
pippies.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Because you can't really grab them straight from the ocean floor there or the beach and throw them into the pot because you'll end up with a lot of crunchy pippies.
Yeah, you need to purge them.
You need to purge them,
we
don't
purge
you?
them at work as well. Like we just put them in a bucket of cold water just,
Do you?
to,
Yeah.
just to get rid of any excess. But I mean, it is a product from the beach.
That's
it's going to
true.
have a little bit of sand in it sometime.
Now, I know chefs love butter,
Yes.
and it's a great
Definitely.
thing to cook pippies in, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It's just like it just coats the pippies as well, and it's just really nice. And who doesn't love butter? To be
Yeah,
fair.
absolutely. They're gorgeous.
It's better to cook them at a sort of high heat. Better to have a lid too, so when you steam, they open up. So a bit of, I've just got some rosé here. Generally when the pot is like nice and hot, you just want to deglaze it with a bit of wine. It's a Grenache blend. The grapes are from Adelaide Hills.
Oh, how good's
Yeah,
that?
I know,
That's
it's pretty
great.
nice.
Local
It's pretty
produce.
nice, pretty
You're so
nice.
spoilt down here.
I
You've
know,
got
we
amazing
are.
produce. Wow.
Just started to pop open. Most
Yeah,
of them
just
are
about.
open.
Yeah, just
Which
about
is
all
good.
of them.
So I'm just going to chuck the caponata in there.
Yep, caponata.
Caponata, yeah.
Is it a Spanish or Mexican?
An Italian.
Italian, there you go. Completely off the radar me.
Okay, kind of close. Just going to stir all that in.
Fantastic.
And then just going to chuck some fresh parsley, and that is it.
Wow.
That is really all you need to be doing.
And that is all you need.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'll tell you what,
After today.
I think I've built up an appetite watching these guys do all the stuff this morning, so we'll be out next, so we might just sneak that over here and eat it ourselves. I think it looks pretty good, but they're all sitting over there. They've stopped for a minute. Come over, guys, if you want to try some. You've done all the hard work to collect them, so you might as well have first taste. Oh, gosh, that smells good.
I know, I really want.
Fantastic. And it can be as simple as this. You can go to all levels, I guess, and here on the beach, can't get much better. Nice and simple, just like this. Those pippies. Oh, the smell. Hey, boys, you're the guys who caught all of these. Have a taste of that. Magnificent. I think we'll get some for ourselves as well, mate. There we go.
Perfect, thank you.
Well, what do you reckon, guys?
Mate?
See the butter and the wine and
Melt butter.
the herbs. Yum-ho.
Thank you.
Absolutely delicious, hey? How good's that? Well, it's our turn up now. You guys have done all the hard work so far. And, yeah, can you maybe give us a few tips on what we've got to do out here on the water? We'll grab the rakes and give it a go.
Yep, just walk out until you find the soft sand and walk to the bottom of that and then just sort of dig back until you hit the hard sand and be right on it.
Righto, we're following him.
Right, so, yeah.
Lead the way, big fella. Go down, have a crack. You ready to go?
Yeah, ready to go.
Fortified by a delicious lunch of fresh pippies spiced up with Mo's caponata, it's time to get back to work. And that means Mo and me.
Well, Mo and myself have got Steve on board. Steve's going to show us what to do.
Yeah, well, basically you just sort of dig back and you got water there, which makes it easier, and you just scrape up the cockles in your rake or...
All right, mate. Well, show us how to do it. Oh, yeah, catch it that way. How you going there, Mo? Doing it even after the water's... Wow, I can really feel it already in the top of the thighs. And this, hey, this will be the new craze at the gyms.
Yeah, so if you're digging like that, if you sort of work side to side in your hole, like this,
Oh, yeah, okay.
you want to sort of dig your hole as wide as the rake now.
Yeah, okay,
Yep.
yeah. That makes sense.
You'd think the abundance of pippies along this beach would make this easy work. But we soon discover that the physical effort of Steve's Pipi shuffle dance steps, combined with the tug and surge of the surf, make handling one of these simple Pipi rakes a job that requires alertness, agility and sheer endurance in equal measure.
So to find the pippies, you've got to walk along until you find some soft ground underneath. And here's, right where I am, is a pretty soft zone. So you start to do this Pipi shuffle and it brings them up to the surface. And the idea then is to drag your rake through as the waves push in and makes it way easy to be able to then pick up, put it back down now, do the wobble, and all those pippies will run into your net. You'll get a lot of sand, but it just goes straight through. But you'll see the pippies there in huge numbers. Just lift her up. Look at that, for a big pile of pippies. I've been very fortunate. Steve's shown us how to do the Pipi dance, as you can see right behind us here. And it's not as easy as you think. You can get to the situation where you're digging those pippies up and then drag your net through. Unreal. I'm puffing and panting. It's because this is hard work. Looks super easy, But trust me, I've been doing it now for about 20 minutes. It's the best workout I've had for a while. Anyway, back to it, see if we can get a good catch. Woo!
And as our work goes on, we realise the difference between the production rate of a seasoned pro and the skimpy efforts of a couple of newbies.
About a kilo.
Yeah, about 1 kilo.
You got enough to go fishing with.
There we go. Tell you what, it's good fitness.
Yeah, it's pretty workout.
Our camera crew also find the surf tough and risky.
Wave, Damo. Wave, mate. Watch this one there. Good one.
Scoop.
Yeah.
This watch doesn't hit your feet there.
It. Almost got taken out by the rain.
We nearly lost Mo. Come back a bit, Mo.
Jesus.
There was a surfer in me. I knew that one was coming. It was a triple double up.
Might have been gone.
I know.
The dangers.
I know, the dangers of Pipi
dangers of
collecting.
Pipi
Golly.
It's pretty nasty when the copper rake hits your shins. Like,
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
yeah. Oh, when you've got it this way and it goes whack.
Yeah, yeah.
God, yeah.
Yeah, draw blood. Yeah.
Draw blood and all. Not good.
Or if you get the cockle rake neck caught up in your toenails,
Oh,
you can tear them off your feet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
golly.
Crucial.
Might sit back in the car now. All right, let's get a few more, eh?
Yep.
That's good.
And so the ballet of the Pipi gatherers moves on to its final act.
They've definitely outdone us.
Well,
Must
there
be
you
a bit
go.
easier just cooking them.
Probably took about a minute to get that many.
Mo and I have worked to the limit, not of the catch, but of our endurance.
Thanks, mate.
Beautiful.
Go to fishfiles.com.au for more information on the sustainability of Goolwa Pipis. And stay tuned for another great Pipi dish coming up. With their day's catch of 600 kilos of ocean fresh pippies loaded on the vehicles, the Goolwa Pipi Company crew make the run back along the beach, across the sand dunes of the Young Husband Peninsula and onto the barge for the return trip across the water to Goolwa and their home base at Port Elliot, about 12 kilometres further along the coast. In this modern processing plant, the pippies will soon be washed with a state-of-the-art filtration system to ensure that they come out completely sand-free. They're then packed fresh to the highest standards of hygiene, with efficiency that's helped the Goolwa Pipi Company to gain certified sustainable seafood endorsement from the International Marine Stewardship Council. So within just a few hours, today's production is on its way to customers around Australia, as well as in Europe and Southeast Asia, and to local customers like Adelaide's Africola restaurant, where my new friend Mo is head chef.
I started working in kitchens when I was 16. That kind of excited me. So I started my apprenticeship when I was probably about 17 as an apprentice. I worked at Fino in Wollonga. When I finished my apprenticeship, I did what every young chef does, go straight overseas at Noma in Copenhagen, best in the world. I think I went there because I felt like it was that authenticity of using the whole ingredients. It's a pretty crazy experience though. It's hard to say that you don't get emotionally attached to certain things, but I think Africola it's just constantly evolving. I think that's really important in the industry. You don't want to become stagnant as a restaurant, and you don't want to just constantly producing the same thing. Consistency, I think, is always key, and I think that's what we have to offer. I enjoy cooking seafood a lot. The simplicity of it, I guess. To be honest, right now I'm pretty happy where I'm at. It's the passion and it's the drive that keeps you going.
Now, great time on the beach. We've got some pippies, we brought them back. All right, well, what have you got for us today?
I've just got the fresh pippies. We cook them in a marinade, which is a sweet soy-based marinade. There's some chilli through there, garlic, of course, butter, of course.
Butter, of course.
And I've got some pumalanga fire, which is a fermented chili sauce. It's pretty pokey, and then just lots of fresh herbs again.
All right, well, where do we start?
I'm gonna heat up some butter.
It's amazing, isn't
Yeah,
it,
and
with
it just
pippies?
adds a bit of richness to the pippies as well. And I've got the sliced garlic, which is a bit of veg oil.
Oh, that looks good.
And also all that oil is going to be flavoured with that garlic as well. Literally just going to melt that down and chuck these pippies in.
You need it nice and hot for the
You
pippies?
do. All that steam as well is just going to help
so
them
it
to
poaches
open up.
them as well almost.
Yeah. So once your butter's all starting to bubble like that, and you can see that your garlic's starting to go a bit translucent as well, so it's really cooking. Just got a bit of white wine here. You can just use any cooking white wine. Actually, a friend of mine told me that the best thing to use is champagne.
Champagne?
So just get a little bit of this marinade. You don't need a lot. You're just wanting a little bit of flavour in
I
there.
guess depending on the portion.
Kind of see all that butter marinade is sort of emulsifying.
Oh, I can start to smell it.
Yeah,
The
it
aroma's
smells great.
amazing.
So
Yeah.
lid on.
And how long? Not long?
I've turned the heat down just a little bit, just because you don't want all that marinade to burn either.
A couple of minutes?
A couple of minutes, yeah, probably about 3 minutes, I'd
Okay,
say, yeah. So these
Okay.
guys have opened up pretty
Wow,
quickly.
look at that. That's delicious.
So you can
I
see
love
it's kind of
pippies.
really, really developed that nice sauce around it. So I'm gonna hit it with some fresh herbs. I'm gonna give it a good squeeze of lemon. Just because it's, you know, the pippies can be salty, so you want a bit of citrus in there.
Here comes the fire.
Yeah. Now, it depends how you like it, whether how liberal you want to be with it. African food, it's meant to be a little bit spicy.
Wow, that's looking great.
And that's it.
There we go.
Yep. So,
All done.
plating, yeah.
Wow. This is my favourite time, the plating up.
Yeah, so here we go.
Awesome.
So you got all that beautiful broth,
Oh, yeah. Look at the juices.
pour into that.
That's fabulous.
And it's always nice just to pick your bowl up and drink it at the end.
Drink it at the end.
Drink
Do you
it
do
at
that
the
in
end.
Africola?
Yeah, sure. I hope people do.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
That is fantastic.
there you go.
Well done. That's
Thanks.
brilliant.
You can find this brilliant recipe at seafoodescape.com or fishfiles.com.au, where you'll also find information on sustainable seafood.
Dinner at the award-winning Africola is a great way to end the show. I hope you enjoyed it. I look forward to you joining us on our next Seafood Escape.